Hello, neighbors. This week we are covering another episode of New Jersey Haunts, and we are talking about Clinton Road, the Union Hotel, and the Devil's Tower in Alpine. And I think you're going to enjoy it.
We're your hosts. I'm Haley.
I'm Julia.
And I'm Janina. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so I chose the Union Hotel in Flemington.
Okay.
I'm so excited because it seemed like there was a lot of stories about this one. Okay, so I want to start the story by saying that there are some updates to the hotel that are trying to be done. And so the new plan says they want to renovate the hotel, have condo units, retail shops, parking deck, and then it said potentially a house that holds college students.
What?
Which is I'm really confused on that part. That's what the first article said. And this also said they would fully demolish the landmark. Oh. So that's the start. Mm-hmm. Now, the hotel was built in 1878 and it features red brick, a French-style roof, 2-story porch located in Flemington's Main Street. And it's the home of the Lindbergh baby kidnapping trial of 1935. Have you guys ever heard of that?
No.
So me neither, but I will mention it because I think that some themes that come up are related to it. Uh-huh. And it says that all the journalists and jurors involved in the case stayed there. They filled up every single room of this place. And there was a kidnap and murder of Charles Lindbergh's baby, and this was in the 1930s, and the suspect was found guilty and sentenced to death by electrocution.
Oh my god.
On April 3rd, 1936 in Trenton, New Jersey. And currently the state of the hotel, it says the paint is peeling from the ceilings, mold seeps through the carpets, there's mildew stains on the walls of the small rooms. And now I'm going to get into some stories from the hotel. A manager said that there was a bouncer who locked the bar doors after closing, and the staff was sitting together having drinks afterward. The front doors flew open, and a gust of wind was felt. The bouncer went to shut the doors once more and claims to have seen a children's black leather pair of patent shoes walking up the main stairs.
What?
He saw shoes running up the stairs.
Oh.
And he ran away and then warned everyone inside. He called them on the phone. Was like, you guys got to get out of there. You got to clear the hotel. That's all they said.
Okay.
Another employee claims to have heard the hum of a lullaby. So she was bringing the cash register upstairs and she heard a child's lullaby playing, and then she dropped it and just ran out. Another waitress said at midnight the dining room was closed. And she had questioned coworkers whose kid was playing in the dining area. And they were all like, no, it's not mine, it's not mine. And they claimed to have seen a young girl running through the dining room wearing a fancy dress.
No.
Okay?
No.
Another kid.
Alrighty then.
Then somebody was visiting the hotel with a realtor and they were looking around. And they began walking up the stairs. So the top 2 and 3 layers is where the guests would stay. The first floor of this was where they had the dining room, the bar, the restaurant, and all that stuff. And all these stories, mind you, a lot of it has to do with upstairs where the guests stay. And so this says the man had walked upstairs and he was hearing loud scratching sounds. And every time he ascended the stairs, it was getting louder, but he wasn't seeing anyone. He thought it was an animal, but he didn't see an animal. And then he just decided to turn back around, and it got less and less loud as he went down the stairs.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, this says the second and third floors, which I said were the hotel rooms, had been closed since the 1950s. And in 2008, the entire establishment closed its doors because I guess they tried to keep it open, having the bar and restaurant. That's where those previous stories happened. And in 2012, the hotel was repurchased where those said plans I mentioned were proposed. But that was in 2012. Okay? According to a 2024 article, they plan to, quote, preserve as much of the historic Union Hotel as possible, end quote, which is kind of different because that first plan said they were going to demolish the whole place. Mm-hmm. And you know what I was thinking of? An American Horror Story, them renovating. You guys at the hotel season, right?
Yeah.
And it's just bizarre, crazy shit because they're trying, right? Isn't that what's happening?
Yeah.
They're trying to change it? Okay. So, The new plan says they will have 206 units, parking garage, retail and dining, and then they're going to add additional hotel rooms to what already exists. And they have a goal to, quote, drive economic growth. And I just made a comment like, oh, they're gentrifying the hotel. Like,
Yeah.
no good can come out of that.
I think it'll still be haunted.
Yeah.
100%.
That's so spooky.
That's really spooky. The kid ghosts are very spooky.
And I have
Just
some
shoes.
pictures, too. What it looked like
So
back
haunted.
then. It's kind of a vibe, but also fucking
Chilling.
creepy. It's all like the dining room, but the chairs are everywhere.
So haunted.
Okay.
It's giving.
This is the bar.
Nope.
So this is the room where the guy said the doors flew open.
Oh, no.
This is one of the rooms. Looks like shit.
It does.
It's so bad. And I was trying to find images of the hotel in its like best state.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that comes up. It's so annoying. And then
So
this
it's
is
just always looked bad.
one of the hallways.
That
you
is
see
so
it's like
dilapidated.
decrepit. Yeah.
That's...
Another terrible picture of the
Yeah.
room. So
I don't think you can save that hotel.
they're trying. I mean, what else could they do?
I think it's
Leave it alone.
better that they're not knocking it down at least.
Yeah.
Imagine all those spirits running free after demolition.
Yeah.
They gotta stay there.
I just find it crazy how I feel like most times when something like this happens, where there's devastating stories associated with the place, usually they turn it into some type of attraction.
Yeah.
And this hasn't happened to this place. Like, it's just been sitting there.
So are they trying to turn, like, are they saying it's haunted in the renovation?
No, it doesn't really mention it. It's basically like your typical redo.
I don't
It's
like
oh
that.
yeah, let's
I
make
don't
it
like
into
that.
something cool.
No.
It feels like a cover-up.
So,
That's spooky.
and now I want to drive by it. How far is
Yeah.
Flemington? I'm leaving now.
I have no idea.
Like 40 minutes, I think.
Whoa, that's too close. That's too close. Because I want to see what it looks like. It looks like shit still from the outside.
Yeah.
You know, I want to know.
Ghost hunters coming your way.
You know what's crazy? I got an ad the other day for Brighton Asylum.
Oh, I saw that.
Another place we could go visit.
I'm not going.
No, that's not what I saw. One of my coworkers works there.
No way.
No way.
Yes, because in the work group chat, they send a video of him with like a fake chainsaw. And I guess that's just his like winter, summer, like his winter gig. Yeah.
I'm out.
I've never been there though.
Same.
I'm not going
But
there.
after the stories we heard,
You gotta ask me about the tunnel.
Oh my gosh. No, wait. The Brighton Asylum, that's what you spoke about, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where he said he's working. Because you can visit there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hope I gave a decent rundown of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I'm gonna be talking about the Devil's Tower in Alpine, New Jersey.
Ooh.
So, the main lore goes that the Devil's Tower was built in 1910 by a millionaire sugar importer named Manuel Rionda. Before it received the name Devil's Tower, it was formerly known as Rio Vista. According to reporting from Forbes, this guy was like a big head honcho. The tower was built and decorated to Rionda's wife, Harriet, who was buried nearby, but later moved to a different cemetery in Englewood. Rumor has it that Mr. Rionda built the tower for his wife so she could look out at the New York City skyline. Others believe he built it as a mausoleum or for religious purposes. But even with Miss Rionda's death and later Mr. Rionda's death, many believe Harriet Rionda's spirit still lives at the tower, the wife. The tower was connected to Rionda's home by an underground tunnel. According to local legend, his wife was looking out of the tower when she saw Manuel with another woman. While she may have suspected infidelity for years, she jumped off the tower, killing herself. Since her rumored suicide, there have been many reports of hauntings, including people who have said they have been pushed by something unseen. So for a
hell
while,
no.
this tower was open and you could go to the top, and people got the sensation of being pushed. Yeah. Others have reported strange noises, and because of this, Manuel locked up the tower, filled in the tunnel connecting the home to the tower, and even removed the elevator leading to the top of the tower, proclaiming that no one will ever go up here again. Since that time, people started calling it Devil's Tower. Witnesses report still hearing noises and smelling perfume, while at other times you can hear a scream as the wife jumps from the tower or a workman falls from it. Her ghostly spirit has also been seen as a shadowy figure in the windows. Some have said that if you drive or walk backward around the tower a certain number of times, the devil or Manuel's wife appears. If you drive around the tower backward 6 times, the ghost of the wife is supposed to control your car and drive it straight into a tree.
Absolutely not.
This happened to a group of teens.
Who is driving backwards?
When they went around it the 6th time, something controlled the car and drove it into a tree, killing one of the girls in the car.
Fuck.
One person said that if you walk around it backwards 6 times at midnight, the devil will appear.
Oh, hell no.
There is satanic graffiti on the inside walls, but the tower is now gated and locked. The doors and windows have also been sealed, allowing no entrance. So, even after Mr. Rionda's death, there were plans to demolish the tower by the town, but activities were halted and eventually aborted after several workers fell to their death.
No.
Crew members employed to knock it down started dying off in odd and painful ways.
I just got the chills.
Clearly, this place stands as one of the most terrifying historical sites in New Jersey. So, I'm going to share one write-in experience that was just wild to me. This person titled it, "When the Devil's Tower Calls, Don't Answer the Phone."
Yeah.
So this girl says, "I grew up and still live in the Alpine area and have been to the tower several times. One of my friends drove around the circle 6 times backwards. After that, the wind picked up, leaves started to swirl, we heard strange, faint wailing noises, and the lights in the gated area of the tower switched on and off. When we pulled away, we saw an image in the narrow window above the clock and felt a bigger chill. The wind picked up even more. We sped off towards the highway. Just as we reached the intersection with the blinking light, my sister's cell phone started to beep. She had a message.
No.
The call was from her home phone. The message was garbled and could not be made out. My sister said the message sounded like a young girl giving a warning. We were pretty freaked out and stopped by at the local diner to discuss what we saw. The 8 of us were standing around when one of the other cell phones started to ring. The call had been from another one of my sorority sisters who was standing right next to me and had not made any phone calls."
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. That is bizarre.
Terrifying.
You know what I find interesting? How whenever there's like a medium, they'll always say how you'll smell the perfume.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people are saying that.
Crazy.
And that's a far. I had never heard of that until you just told that.
To me, it's the sensation of being pushed. Like, oh, when you were mentioning that, chills.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I have been up to that area where this is, and I felt so eerie there. I don't know if I was near the tower, but I definitely was up there. I was like, we have to go.
Yeah.
And now I know
Were
that
you
there's
driving
like
or out of the car?
We were in the car, parked, going to get out because it's a beautiful view, and it was like nighttime. It was pretty, but I was like, I'm not getting out of the car here.
That intuition.
Weird.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So when they said rumored suicide, what year was it again? Was it
Like the 1950s.
Oh, okay.
So not proven.
Not proven. So there's some rumor that the wife died of like a natural cause later on in life, but the rumor that she saw her husband cheating on her,
Oh,
then jumped
my
off
gosh.
the tower.
So it's not an attraction anymore.
It's all closed off. The tower still stands because when people were trying to knock it down, all the crew members started dying.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I want to see it.
Yeah. We should go.
I'm
I'll go
scared,
during the
but
day.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
We can drive past it.
After watching the Blair Witch Project, I'm so freaked out. It's not in the middle of the woods, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's woodsy up there, but it's not in the middle.
We can handle it then.
Okay.
During daylight, we could do it.
For
Oh my
context,
gosh.
we just saw Blair Witch Project all together. And oh my god, I hope to never be lost in the middle of the woods
It was
ever.
spooky.
It was spooky.
It started off fine and then it just like a psychotic break.
Yeah. I started asking everyone like if they remember it being promoted, and no one has a good story for me.
Yeah.
But imagine that, you thinking that is real and then watching it, I'd be losing my mind.
That's crazy. I mean, good marketing for them, but
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
The ending was nuts.
I had told my mom, she was like, oh, that's scary. But I don't even think she's seen it. She must have just based off what she's heard about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's how scary it is.
I will say, well, we all watch the Paranormal Activity movies, right?
Yes.
Maybe I was more scared maybe because I was younger too, but I used to think those were so
Those
scary.
are scary. They
Yeah.
still are. And they have more jump scares.
Yeah, and more like freaky stuff happening
Yeah.
in your face.
Yeah.
And they're based on real events.
No, they're not.
I thought they were.
No way.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Let's Google it.
I'm just imagining the scene where the this isn't a spoiler, right? It's been more than 10 years.
No spoilers.
His spine cracks. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Oh, it was terrible. Ugh.
It is not based on a true story.
Okay.
Sorry.
Listen, if that was based off a true story, I don't want any parts of seeing. I don't even want that energy near me at all.
What, something happened in the basement?
So, she has an alcove, like, above where the couch was, but it was high up. So it's not, you can't just stand and look. It's not like in a kitchen where you can see right through. Her brother stood on a stool on the other side of the room and scared us while we were watching the movie.
Nope.
And if you could imagine, like, we're 10 years old or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like the craziest thing, you know?
That's scary.
Nah. Today I'm covering Clinton Road in West Milford, New Jersey. I think it's listed as New Jersey's #1 most haunted road right now. It's also known for having legends of sinister group meetings in secret. The 2-lane 18th century road is also rumored to be a popular dump site for organized crime members, with one instance of this being confirmed in the 1980s. Hauntings and oddities that have occurred on this road. The first one is Ghost Boy Bridge. Some tales say that if you leave a quarter on the yellow line of the bridge over Clinton Brook, Dead Man's Curve, in parentheses, that the ghost of a boy who died there will return to you. Some other legends state that the same ghost boy will push you over the edge to the bridge to keep you from hitting a car, as he was. Oh, sorry. Am I reading it well? The haunted Camaro belonging to a girl supposedly crashed in the late 1980s. In the legend, any mention of driving at night that will trigger this haunting. That also happened on Clinton Road. My brother has a crazy story on Clinton Road. His friends were driving down and he passed out in the middle of a sentence.
What?
Yes. And then as soon as they got off the road, he like woke up and finished his story like back in the middle of the sentence that he was on. So I believe in the spooky vibes. They also list strange animals. There have been claims of seeing hellhounds named Wolfie, as well as some other strange creatures. While some do not believe this to be supernatural, they do believe that the mutated animals could have been survivors from the former jungle habitat attraction that closed in the 1970s.
Did they say that that was nearby that road?
I don't remember.
Because I remember hearing about the zoo, but I didn't
remember
know.
Jungle Habitat. I didn't know they were close.
Yeah.
It must be. Okay, last one that I'll mention is this Deuteric Temple. The one that easily debunked and is just a former iron smelter that was built in the 1800s. Despite this, many claim that it is the site of a Deuteric worship where they do their rituals. It's not easy to get to after having been gated off for public safety.
What is Deuteric worship?
But that's a picture of it. Imagine that on the creepy haunted road.
Druidic? Druidic worship?
I mispronounced that.
I don't know, but I feel like I want to... Can I ask Siri what that is?
Yeah.
Hey Siri, what is Druidic worship near Clinton Road? What's going on here?
Haunted road, for sure. Creepy vibes.
I feel like everyone always has a story about Clinton Road.
Yeah. I've never been.
I feel like I've...
Road trip?
Haven't we talked about this? Why do I feel like we've discussed...
We probably have. I've never gone.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys this? It was daylight, though. So it wasn't that spooky. But midway through, I'm like, oh shit, like we're on Clinton Road. But it was daylight, so, you know, it just seemed like any other road that we were traveling on.
Did anything creepy happen?
No.
So you live to tell a tale.
Yeah. But there's got to be some spooky stuff out there.
Absolutely.
100%. Okay, we are doing our advice session again. Hi neighbors, friends of one of the hosts and fan of the show. I, 28 male, would like a woman's perspective on dating, as I am finding it difficult navigating in. For me, I find connections through Hinge. For me, I'm not writing out long conversations back and forth with prospect. Usually I write a few things and plan a date, letting most of the conversation getting to know someone happen on the date. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you.
This summer, in aiming to meet someone I can grow with, I went on many first dates, dinners, lunches, walks, sometimes a bar. Most of my dates have been pretty fun. I do feel a sense of anxiousness and overthinking, especially when I really do not know the person in front of me, but I try my best to just ask questions or keep a convo lively. After the first dates, I've been either getting a, hey, you're great, but rejection text or a cold phone. I understand that maybe I should be having more text combos before having a first date. Maybe my choices and who I am matching with on paper are great, but in real life are not. But regardless, I am finding frustration in meeting strangers on an app. From a woman/neighbor's perspective, what helps you understand the compatibility with the guy you're getting to know? Additionally, what are the kinds of conversations you would like to have with someone who wants to get to know you? Thanks again. Love. Where my hug at?
I feel like it's hard if somebody is messaging you afterward. You know what? The first thing that came to mind is those videos when people go on a date and then they send a Google form, an anonymous form, and they're like, rate our date, give me a review. Like, maybe, no, that's not solid advice, actually. But, like, how can you find out why someone doesn't want to see you again?
Yeah.
That's the dilemma.
But I think it just means that they're not the person for you.
Yeah.
And dating, you can go on like a million dates. And that's the fun of it. You don't owe them anything, and you can just keep trying. And it's not like you have to beat yourself up over it, because clearly they're not the person for you.
That's true.
True.
Like, good for you for going on the dates. I would say maybe try to match with someone that you wouldn't typically match for, because maybe the conversation will be better than you think.
That's a good point.
And if not, just you'll learn a lot more about what you don't want also. So that could help you find what you are looking for.
Also, maybe your profile needs more information about yourself. If you're matching with these people, maybe they don't know enough about you to actually see if there's a connection.
Yeah.
So maybe add like a fun hobby or an interest. Something like whatever you talk about on the date, add that to your profile so that you know whoever you match with next will want to talk about the same thing.
Yeah. And he had asked, what are things that you should talk about during a date, right? He kind of, what, I don't know. What are good conversation? I guess, like, I think it's
Like
just
goals.
nice hearing about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, asking the person about their life, their friends.
Like what music they like, I love asking people what their top 4 favorite movies are from Letterboxd.
Good icebreaker.
That's a good icebreaker, because you can you either haven't seen the movies or you haven't, and that's a conversation.
Or music too, if that's your thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like don't make it a question that is closed-ended. Like, make it something that you could still bounce back from.
Yeah.
Like, don't say, do you like country music? They say no.
Yeah.
How do you follow up with that, you know?
Yeah.
True.
And go into it like you're trying to meet a friend, I would say. Because if you, like, don't ask a dating question, I guess. Don't be like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, this isn't an interview. It's more of just, like, you're trying to start something out of this. I think maybe take the pressure off yourself. Try to go in like you're just friends.
That is a tricky situation. But
It
yeah,
is.
good for you for going on the dates.
Yeah.
Facts.
I can't.
Especially in this dating market.
Yeah, it is hard.
I've heard it's terrible.
But don't be down on yourself either.
Yeah.
I don't think it's your fault. Like, honestly, it's so hard online, I would say.
You're frustrated because you care.
Yeah. But I think it's going to work out for you. I mean, I know it will. Just keep going on the dates.
Third spaces, too. Maybe, like, go places where you have those hobbies, and you'll be more likely to run into somebody that...
So true.
With the similar interest.
Yeah.
True. That could be where you meet someone to go on your next date instead of relying on an app.
And you already have something in common. That's such a good idea.
Because when people say, oh my gosh, when I go out at night, I don't find anybody, but like, you're at a bar,
Because you're meeting people that are going out at night.
Yeah. You need to go somewhere during the daytime.
Yeah.
Where there's hobbies involved.
Go do something nice.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hope this was helpful.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we have for this week's episode. We hope you guys liked it. We did some haunted happenings, our favorite topic, and some advice, which we haven't given in a while. If you want to get our advice for a future episode, make sure to write in at the anonymous submission form down below.
Or message us on Instagram.
Please give us a 5-star rating wherever you are listening.
And before you go, be sure to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Neighbors Pod. And follow us on Instagram at theneighbors.pod, right? And TikTok at The Neighbors Pod. And with that, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
neighbor.
neighbor.